Hey everyone, Jason here from Off the Beaten Path, and welcome to a short video celebrating 1,000 subscribers on the channel. Pretty amazed that we actually have that many subscribers, so thank you to each and every one of you that have clicked that subscribe button and continue to like and watch the videos that we produce. So here's a recap of some of the videos we've put out over the last 12 to 18 months of the channel to reach this point. So this particular clip here is one of the first times I was driving Crooked River. That's one of the river crossings there on the way back towards the Kingswell Bridge. It's certainly been a fun time, and initially, as I've said before, I really published these videos mostly just for friends and family to watch, and it's been great having more of you join me on the journey. So some footage there from our first time driving on sand dunes. This was out at Stockton Beach, just north of Newcastle there. And it was also pretty much the first time I think that I actually used the MaxTrax to recover the vehicle, and was pretty pleased that they worked basically as advertised. And yeah, this was the King River down near Lake William Hovell. And I thought I was actually crossing at a different point that I'd already driven that was still pretty deep, but not quite as deep as this. This was unexpectedly deep. And then we came to this exit and was muddy, slippery, and rutted out with wombat holes. And amazingly, I didn't land in the mud. So look, with the channel, our intention is to continue producing trip videos, telling you guys about the tracks, continuing with our longer form videos where we show more of the tracks to give you guys a better idea of what they're like, and try and tell you a little bit more about the area that they're in. So that little clip there was actually from our trip on the way through to the Magic Forest, and this one of course is heading up the summit of Mount Selwyn, one of my favourite summits to visit in the high country. Just such an amazing view, never gets old every time you get up there. So Abbey Yard track, this is the result of choosing the wrong line. As you can see, she's buried to the back bar pretty much on the back side. We tried to go around a hole, but we ended up in the hole. Yeah, this side's not too bad, but yeah, I think it's a winch to get out of here today. And back to Stockton, where I did get to learn just how much tyre pressures can actually affect how well the vehicle will climb dunes on sand. It was certainly a bit of an eye-opener. The Padge is pretty heavy with the mods that I have on it, and that's certainly a factor as well. That particular run there was at 18 psi, and we had we actually got stuck on the side of the dune, had to dig some sand out, and then you can see there we've dropped it down to 15 psi, so just another 3 or 4 psi, and made it up with no problems at all. So and again, this was one of our very early videos on the first time we filmed the trip through Woolmargama. Great little spot just north of Albury there. And this is Mount Sarah. So that was actually the trip, I'm pretty sure, where the transfer case broke. Back at Crooked River, and the sharp-eyed among you might recognise this is actually the same river crossing that I showed earlier, but different time, a little bit deeper, with it flowing a little bit more. And this footage here is, of course, from our first visit to Tallarook, where we hadn't actually planned to do much in the way of four-wheel driving, but you know, what you plan and what happens aren't always the same thing. And this is West Falls Road. It's only a short stretch, maybe a kilometre, from the campground at the dam or reservoir up to one of the main access tracks that run through Tallarook. And having had a bit of rain, it was much slipperier than expected. Yeah, it's definitely the slipperiest track that I've driven on. I think just the fact that, you know, it wasn't just a short section. There was so much of this track that was the whole way just slippery like this. It's a clay base. Once it gets wet, and particularly once you've been on it in the vehicle and taken the top off it, there is no easy way to get around that. This is actually in the Roo historic area near Murchison. Fun little hill climb that we found on the way through there. One of the fortunate things is the kind of work that I do. We often have site visits all around the state, both in Victoria and New South, and often means I get to combine site visits for work with trips on the way back. And again, this little piece of footage here is from one of the many trips around Lake William Hovell. Pretty sure from that trip I remember everybody else made that look a heck of a lot easier. And this is along Basin Track, just heading through towards King Hut. Certainly fortunate to live in this part of the world so close to the high country, and we certainly appreciate every opportunity we get to get out there and share these tracks with you. And when we get to go to areas further afield, like our recent trip up to the Wattigans with the Padge Formance crew, that was also a lot of fun and great to be out on the tracks with other Pajeros for a change. Don't often get that opportunity. This particular footage here, again, if you've been following the channel, you'd probably recognise as coming down the east side of the summit of Mount Gibbo. And yeah, from the same trip, heading up towards Mount Pinnabar summit along this section here. Now, as we're approaching the end of 2022, we've certainly got some good trips planned for the coming year, and we're going to look forward to bringing you guys that footage and telling you a little bit more about the tracks and some of the areas that we get to visit. Just a short video, this one, again, to thank you all for watching and enjoying the content, and thank you particularly to those people who regularly post comments on the videos. I do read and reply to them all, and hope you continue to enjoy the content coming forward. With no intention to change dramatically what we do. We'll continue to bring long form content where we show larger sections of the tracks and try and tell you a bit more about the area. So everybody, thanks for watching. I'll leave this one there and see you in the next video.